How do I know if I'm ready for the gig? I don't think there's a perfect answer here. I've had situations in the past where I've prepared hours, even days, and everything fell apart. And other times where I walked on stage with minimal preparation and things went fine. So, to some degree, this is out of your control, and some elements of the gig just happen as they happen. But over the years, I've established a rough checklist of things that I think are important for every gig, and I want to share that checklist with you today. The first thing that I'm looking for when preparing for a gig is understanding each of the song's forms. I really want to take each song and break it down into verse, chorus, solo, bridge, etc., and make sure that I know where all of those pieces are. One thing that I've noticed over the years is if you listen to a song, the recorded version of the song, you're going to get all kinds of cues from that recording that you won't get in a live environment. So you need to be able to break down the song into its parts and understand where those parts fit together. I'm less concerned about a single missed note. Those are going to happen. But if I have a form problem, if I lose the form, that's where train wrecks occur. Specific to each form, you must know your starts and stops. And I separated this into a separate point because of how important it is. Understanding what the band's going to do to get into the song and then out of the song is vitally important. And I think actually this makes the biggest difference to the audience. How many times have you played a tune where mistakes were occurring in the middle, but music was still playing? Nobody really noticed. The middle isn't as important. But if you end the song really powerfully, the audience goes up, they're totally into it, and really makes for a much better performance. So understanding what the band plans on doing for each song to start and stop, vitally important. I don't think that every song deserves the same amount of practice. Sometimes when I look at a set list, there are easy tunes that I've played before that I just need to run through once or twice, and other tunes that I really need to break down. And it could be issues with the form. There could be some unexpected changes that occur within the song. Or it could actually be a technical restriction in that song, like something that's actually difficult to play. And so when I look at a set list, I'm charting out early which of the songs that are going to cause me the most problems, and I spend the most time practicing those songs. Can I play the set? So you have your individual song prep and making sure that they're individually all worked out. But then how do the songs fit together? Are you going to do these as medleys? Is there a short break and a click into the next song? This may be more of a band question and something that you talk about as a group, but nothing kills a gig like a lot of dead time in between songs, so making sure that you understand how you're getting from song to song keeps the energy up, keeps the crowd engaged, and something that you should work out ahead of time. Can I trust my charts? I need to make sure that they're straight, ready to go, everything is correct on the charts. That's things like the form pieces that I talked about before. It's also the keys. It's whatever transitions we're going to have. The charts need to be rock solid. Eventually, I don't want to rely on the charts at all, but in the case that I need them, they need to be correct. So nothing causes a bigger train wreck, for example, than you're in the wrong key. And you start and you're whipping your head around, looking at the other musicians like, what's going on? The charts need to be correct. So spending a little bit of extra time there will save you a lot of headache on the gig. The next thing I look for is I check all of my gear. I start with my basses and make sure that they're playable, that the action is appropriate, necks haven't moved around a lot too much. I check through all the equipment that I'm going to be using, and I have a standard checklist that I bring for every gig and make sure that all the pieces that I need, the amp, all the cabling, cameras, basses, everything is packed up and ready to go. This should be pretty repeatable, and this may differ from gig to gig, but you need to make sure that you have a checklist, because if you don't, you're going to forget something, and nothing ruins a gig like not having a critical piece of equipment. I've actually driven to gigs before, thankfully local ones, that I forgot my bass, and that is not something I want anybody to experience. So make a checklist, make sure it's correct. The next piece that I want to check are all the gig logistics. Where is the gig? Where am I going to park for the gig? How's the parking work? How far in advance do I need to leave the house in order to make it there on time? And I often have to factor in traffic and understanding what the time of day is going to mean for my commute. Making sure that I have the right dress code, that I kind of match the rest of the band, that I'm not too formal, not too casual. All of these things are wrapped up into that logistics topic and very, very important. So you want to make sure that that stuff is sorted out before the gig. And that's it. That's my 7-point checklist. Something interesting happens when you get this stuff right is you can actually perform. You don't need to worry. You don't need to have your mind somewhere else and thinking about what's coming next. Am I terrified of making a mistake? When you have these things in line, you can actually enjoy the performance. And that's where I think the magic is just being able to be one with the band, be one with the crowd, and have a good time. You want to have a good time. They want to have a good time. And being prepared allows you to do that. All right, I hope this checklist was useful to you. If there are any things that I missed, please include those in the comments. I'm interested in hearing what you might do in your preparation. And until next time, take care and happy gigging.